I grew up with a Haida Gwaii Youth Soccer Association, or Haida Gwaii Soccer League, where a bunch of really cool dads got together and made soccer happen for the whole island. And it brought together over 500 kids every year. And it's now about 400, so I get to basically help support the soccer league that I started in grade 2. And then the other opportunities we had were swim lessons and pools. We're actually piloting the first swim lesson, waterfront swim lesson on Haida Gwaii since the pool closure in 2009.
IT over the past few decades has changed so much. New technologies have come out. Every time there was a new technology, I was in the more tech support area, and I had to learn that new technology and be able to apply it to what was going on in the company I was working for. In addition to learning new technologies, part of my role was to actually teach these new technologies to the people I was working with.
What working at the Brandon Police Service taught me about organizational culture is the impacts that the workplace has on individuals. A key interest of mine in the aspect of emergency services and organizational culture is resilience. And at the Brandon Police Service, I really learned firsthand why resilience is important in first responders. So even not being a first responder, working in a supporting role, I learned that we were dealing with a really difficult topic, and we were always dealing with people on their worst day.
From the time I was young, I always enjoyed helping people. I always enjoyed having that connection, having that moment to spend with people, learning from them, even helping them through their vulnerable moments. And I think that that's where nursing was a great fit. It felt like it was a calling for me to get into that profession. The Ontario Black Nurses Network is a not-for-profit organization that I started 4 years ago to encourage people to find others that you felt comfortable with, that you could network with, who may have experienced the same barriers, challenges, but also to highlight and uplift our experiences.
I knew when I went into nursing I wanted to be a leader, and that was really where my focus was. It's why I went back to school. It's where I wanted to end up. But I really took what I learned from being with patients and took it into that leadership. And as a leader and as a nurse leader, really wanted to create work environments for nurses that allowed every nurse in the unit to provide the kind of care I provided.
We're in the lunchroom right now at my old high school. We had high school dances here in this lunchroom, and I was on student council, and a group of us and a lot of us friends would sort of make these dances happen for ourselves. So we got taught young how to have a good time. And yeah, it's pretty fun to be back in the school working as a rec coordinator, where there's programs in the high school gyms every night, drop-in sports, and upstairs is a weight room that we help to manage with the school district. So it feels like I've sort of come full circle.
I still am learning tech, and I just recently did a bit of programming to help my son with a challenge he had. I ended up using 3 different AIs to get it done.
The way I feel like I can make the biggest impact with my philosophy on the human aspect of work and effective leadership is by consulting and helping others become those types of leaders, and then essentially enacting change in their organizations. So the biggest impact I could do is help others to have that impact in their organizations.
Looking back at that time when I started having our kids, I started realizing that I'd be in spaces where I was the only Black nurse. I thought about times where my behavior had to mold to be accepted with whatever environment I was in. I started seeing how people were seeing me. And I think I started thinking about how they're seeing me, they're seeing my children.
I have a motto where you just ask for forgiveness, not for permission, and that's how you get things done. And so I think that's just been part of, my career and some of the things that I've done, that it just brings you joy. You know you've made a difference in the lives of people, that you're never gonna meet, right? But you just know that you're improving the health of people because you just won't take no for an answer.
Part of what I enjoyed about this program was that it was asynchronous. So you go onto IBM Notes in the morning, you refresh, click the refresh button, and it would show everything you had to do that day, the discussions with your classmates. Being able to have dogs, run Haida Gwaii recreation, hang out with my parents, go in the forest for a walk. You want to be able to still do school within that, and Athabasca allows you to balance all of it.
Online learning with Athabasca, I think, is a godsend to so many people. When I was chatting with other people at the convocation, they were in while totally different stages in their life than me, they were also in the position where it was critical to their success that online learning, where I don't need to be in a classroom, was available. I could not have gotten this degree if I had to go to a classroom. Athabasca and the online learning supported me getting this degree.
Okay, I'm not old, but I'm not young. I have a family. I need to work. Athabasca University was the only open, flexible, and accessible option for somebody who's working full-time or needs to work around things on their own schedule. And also, when you're going back to university after a significant time in the workforce, there was some uncertainty there in my own abilities, and the open nature of Athabasca University made it an easier transition for someone, an adult learner, going back to school.
Athabasca fit my life. I was able to go to school. I was able to nourish sort of that curiosity I had for learning and not take away from time with the kids.
I could do it in the evenings or on weekends, and so I didn't have to stop my job and go back to school. I could do both at the same time, and so that made a lot of good sense financially, and just allowed me to keep moving forward with my career.
The Athabasca experience has been around making sure you can still live in your hometown, or you can still live at home, still get a quality education, and still enjoy life.
Athabasca has been critical to my personal success, to achieving my personal goals, which was seriously exercising my brain.
Go for it. Take a chance on yourself, because I think you're going to be surprised at what you're capable of.
I didn't think this is the path that it would take me to with Athabasca. But I'm glad it did. I'm really happy to receive this award. That's